Welcome to the municipality of Falun's adult education. If you are over 18 years old and want to learn Swedish, then we welcome you to Komvux in Falun. Here you will meet our wonderful teachers that are qualified to teach Swedish as a second language. You will also meet teachers who can provide you with additional help if you have difficulties, for example, with reading or writing. You will also meet teachers who will work their hardest to ensure that you meet the goals in your course, which are outlined by the Swedish National Agency for Education. We also have access to various digital aids, such as iPads and Chromebooks. Here at Komvux, it is important that everyone feels welcome and safe. We strive to ensure that everyone is comfortable, and we promote the notion that everyone has the same worth. It doesn't matter if you are a woman or a man, old or young, what your sexual preferences are, whether you have a religion or not, or how you dress. Everyone is welcome, and it is important that everyone is respected. When you learn a language, you need others to practice the language with. At Komvux, you will have the opportunity to collaborate with your teachers and the other students in your course. It is important that you are able to learn the language as quickly and as well as possible. Do you want to learn Swedish? When you are an adult and need to study, you can come to us at Vuxenutbildningen, which is Sweden's adult education. If you want to learn Swedish, then you will begin your studies at SFI. SFI means Swedish for Immigrants. You start with one of 3 different courses: Course A, Course B, or Course C. The final course in SFI is Course D. The time spent on each course will vary depending on your school background. When you are finished at SFI, you can continue to study Swedish at the Year 9 level, which is the last course before you finish in the Swedish compulsory school system. After Course C, you can study other subjects at the Swedish compulsory school level, such as mathematics and English. After you have finished the Year 9 Swedish course, you can proceed to the upper secondary education level. After you have completed Swedish at the upper secondary education level, you can continue on to university or college. If you have any questions regarding your different education options, you can talk to a study counselor at the Guidance Center in Falun. There are 3 different paths at SFI: Study Path 1, Study Path 2, and Study Path 3. The different study paths make it possible for you to attend a course that follows your level of experience with studying from your native country. We will place you on the right study path after an assessment that we do here at SFI. Everyone can study at SFI, and everyone will finish with Course D. However, the length of time, the tempo, and the work methods will be different for each person. If you have never attended school in your native country, or if you have had less than 7 years of education, then you will need support from the teachers, and it can take a long time for you to learn Swedish. You will start in Course A, to learn to read and write Swedish letters and the basics of the Swedish language. After Course A, you can then proceed on to Course B, C, and D. If you studied between 7 and 12 years in your native country, it is easier to learn Swedish and you will proceed faster. If you have learned to read and write with the same letters as in the Swedish alphabet, then you will start on Course B and then proceed to Course C and D. If you studied at university in your native country, it is even simpler to learn Swedish and it will go quickly. When you finish Course D, you can go on to other programs in the adult education. 20 hours each week. At Komvux, we provide lessons held by teachers for at least 15 hours each week. You will have lessons at school where you will work with and listen to Swedish, speak Swedish, read Swedish, and write in Swedish. You will also work with different assignments at home for at least 5 hours each week. Sometimes you will get assignments that are to be done on a computer. It is always good to repeat what you have studied at school once you get home. If you are working, it is possible to study certain courses remotely. In order for you to learn as much Swedish language as possible, we work with different content and themes throughout the course. You will, for example, study what kind of housing there is and what you must consider when you live here in Sweden, what is important concerning your health and what you can do if you get sick, how the educational system works in Sweden, friendships and relationships in Sweden, how democracy works in Sweden, or the working life in Sweden. We will also work with different learning methods in the classroom. You will get to read short texts and longer books. You will both listen to and watch the news. You will meet Swedes and talk with them. All of this is important so that you can function better in the Swedish society. Here is an example of a course unit about housing with a focus on listening comprehension. Here you can see different examples for listening and understanding. The students will listen to and answer different questions by talking and sometimes by writing on a piece of paper. In Course A, the teacher will say the names of different types of furniture and the students will point at the corresponding picture. In Course B, the students will listen to a person and then talk about this person and how they live, what they do at home, and what their neighborhood is like. In Course C, the students will listen to someone talking about moving and why they are moving. In Course D, the students will listen to people who call their landlords and talk about the different problems they are having with their housing. Here you can see examples of course assignments for reading comprehension. The students will read texts and answer different questions by talking and writing on paper. Here you can see different examples for speaking assignments. You will practice your speaking skills so that other people will understand what you are saying. In Course A, the students will discuss their living arrangements with their teacher. In Course B, the students will talk about where they live and what they do at home. In Course C, the students will discuss their neighborhood. They may also talk about what is similar and different between Sweden and their native countries. In Course D, the students will discuss what is good and bad about living in a city or in the countryside. Here you will see examples of assignments for writing comprehension. You will exercise your writing skills so that other people can understand what you are writing. You will write with pen and paper, but also on the computer. In Course A, you will copy words and simple, short sentences. In Course B, you will, for example, write a letter where you describe your apartment and what you do at home. In Course C, you will, for example, write a letter to a friend or a newspaper. You will describe what is good or bad in your neighborhood or the place where you live. In Course D, you will, for example, write a letter to a landlord. You will register a complaint about something that is bad with your housing or with the neighborhood. You will provide suggestions for things that could make your housing better. Everyone should be able to study at SFE. Every teacher will help you if you have a disability, and we also have a group of special needs teachers who can provide additional support if it is necessary. If you have had difficulties reading and writing in your native country, it can also be a problem in Sweden as well. If you have difficulties with your vision, you might need a text that is enlarged. If you have difficulties with hearing, you might need to sit close to the teacher or work in a smaller group. If you use a wheelchair, you might need to sit in a special place in the classroom. At Komvux, there are teachers who can help you in different ways, but it is also important that you contact your healthcare provider so that they can help you with your needs. Your education with us at the Municipality of Falun's adult education will provide you with a solid foundation so that you can continue to live and work in Sweden. Do you want to study at SFE Komvux? If you want to begin your studies with us, then you should go to the Guidance Center or get in touch with your handler at the Employment Office at Kristinagatan 28 here in Falun. There you can also talk with a counselor who can provide you with information and answer questions. To be able to begin your studies at SFE, you must have the last 4 digits of your personal ID number. You must live within the municipality of Falun. Once you have completed your application and handed it in to the Guidance Center, or have been helped by your handler at the Employment Office, you will have to wait for a letter with information about when the course will start. Thank you for listening to the information about SFE Komvux in Falun. Welcome!